What I realize is sustainability, solar energy and stuff like that. The initial cost, it was scared, people because it is new in Ghana. There are some companies that have taken advantage of it and they are doing full scale of it. But a large number of people, a large number of companies are not so much into it because when they look at the initial cost of it, they get scared a little bit. Yeah. So it comes back to, being able to educate them and convince them that.
Welcome to Connected FM, a podcast connecting you to the latest insights, tools, and resources to help you succeed in facility management. This podcast is brought to you by IFMA, the leading professional association for facility managers. If you are ready to grow your network and advance in your career, go to ifma.org to get started. In today's episode, Christa Dodoo, the First Vice-Chair of IFMA's Global Board of Directors, sits down with Sampson Opare-Agyemang, the President of IFMA's Ghana chapter. Together, they discuss the chapter's journey in advancing facilities management across Africa and in Ghana, and they also discuss how education has been pivotal in shifting mindsets, the value of credentials like the FMP, and the adoption of renewable energy in building lifecycle practices. They also talk about essential FM skills, partnerships, and future goals like expanding university programs and developing more localized training. Now, let's get into it.
My name is Christa Dodoo, the First Vice-Chair of IFMA. I'm here today with Sampson Opare-Agyemang, the President of the Ghana chapter. Welcome, Sampson.
Thank you very much, Christa.
Just by way of quick introduction, can you just walk us through a little bit what the Ghana chapter has been up to generally? It's been like, what, 13 years?
Yeah, 13, 14 years now.
Yeah, so what has been the journey like in the past 14 years for the chapter?
Thank you, Christa. It's been an interesting journey. I know you were there from the beginning, so I'll not bore you with the struggles we had in the beginning. Yeah, but it was fun. It was interesting. We started with few professionals interested in facilities management, want to grow facilities management, and want to see facilities management, done professionally in Ghana. Okay, so we started with small little meetings, having a chat and seeing how we can make it happen to have a chapter in Ghana with IFMA. Yeah. And there were some stringent rules that we need to meet. And
it was really stringent.
It was stringent. Yeah, but we pulled it out, Yeah, so what we did was, speaking to colleagues, and then some understood it, some didn't know anything at all about facilities management. Although they were working in a space, they didn't know the profession, facilities management. So it paid off by speaking with colleagues and stuff like that. We were able to get the requirements, and IFMA fortunately launched the chapter in Ghana in 2013, 2014, thereabouts.
Yeah. Finally got it done.
Yes.
And it's interesting you mentioned people working in the space, but they don't know they are practicing facilities management. And when you go around, you talk to people, they're like, oh, I'm maintenance engineer, I'm a technician, but they don't realize what they are doing. That's the definition of facilities management. So how are you able to now shift that mindset a little bit in Ghana? Do you think you've made some progress in that direction?
Indeed. We've made a lot of progress in that direction. So the strategy we took was, being the leader, my strategy was education. Yeah. I also came to realize that although the team that started about 2025 of us, it was just one person who was, having an FMP as a professional, facilities manager. So the encouragement was to all of us to have the FMP at least. Yeah, if we have the FMP and then we go out there and we are speaking to people and trying to educate them to understand and know the profession, then we can refer them to professional credentials that they can have, that will improve their work as well. And it paid off. So we started visiting companies, we were visiting universities and speaking to them. And I think we've come very far. That today we are having some universities running facilities management as a course. in their faculties. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And it's good you mentioned the FMP, because that's one of the things I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
the chapter got awarded earlier this morning.
Yeah.
And
Oh, fantastic.
and it was
Yeah.
congratulations. And
Yeah.
one of the things was the fact that there's been a lot of FMP credentials in
Exactly.
Ghana.
Exactly.
Over 100
Over 100, yes.
Yeah, FMPs. And it was kind of like on a huge steady path
Exactly.
to just get most of the professionals in Ghana
Exactly.
accredited. So I just want to say thank you for all that work, bringing that education
You're welcome.
to Ghana, and
Yeah.
congratulations
Thank you.
on the
Thank
award.
you.
So, in your opinion, still talking about training, and you mentioned training to
Yeah.
create the awareness.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of those essential skills that FM professionals, specifically in Africa and in Ghana, what are some of those skills that we think we need to be focusing on for the FM professionals in Ghana to be able to have meaningful impact and value for their organizations?
Yeah. I mean, personally, what I came to realize, with the profession and working in the space in Ghana, is that we need to get to a point to be able to convince employers about the importance of facilities management and what we are bringing on board in terms of productivity. Yeah. So we push more in the area of energy management. We push water, management, waste management, and stuff like that. And energy management paid off because electricity bills in Ghana is very high. So if you are able to do little energy conservation, energy management efficiency, and then show the tables to your employer that, look, we were paying this much when I started introducing the strategies, and we've been able to bring the bills down to that level, they appreciate it so much. And colleagues tell me that when they go to them and then they ask them to sponsor them to do the FMP especially, then they are ready to pay. Yeah, because they are seeing the results practically on their books.
Yeah, you're adding value.
Yeah.
Bottom line for every organization
Sure.
is revenue and value
Exactly.
addition. So I think that is one of the good things. But beyond energy management, and yes, in Africa, renewable energy is cheap. And I'm using cheap very
because we have
very
the sun
loosely.
24/7.
You do have the sun 24/7. Do you think beyond organizations and energy management in organizations, do you think renewable energy is something that the African market is really ready for at this point? And are we taking advantage of it?
Yeah, we are to some extent, but I think it's on a very low stage, on a very low level. Yeah, because what I realize is sustainability, solar energy and stuff like that. The initial cost, it was scared, people. Yeah, I mean, because it is new in Ghana. I may say so. There are some companies that have taken advantage of it and they are doing full scale of it. But a large number of people, a large number of companies are not so much into it because when they look at the initial cost of it, they get scared a little bit. Yeah. So it comes back to, being able to educate them and convince them that, look, in the long run, this is going to, save you more comparatively if you are using the traditional way of using energy. Yeah.
Well, I guess then that brings the topic about life cycle costing.
Exactly.
And maybe that's one of the skills we should be looking at as essential skill for practitioners on the continent. Because if you are able to do your life cycle costing well, you're able to present that business case to your employers, and the organization, and they realize that it's not just the initial cost. And I do agree, even though renewable energy is cheaper now than it used to be 5-10 years ago, it's still
expensive when it comes to our part of the world.
It is. So I think maybe that's one of the things we need to focus on in terms of training.
Yeah, the life cycle.
On life cycle costing.
Yeah.
And I know, just putting a little IFMA plug in here, I know the research and benchmarking team, they are working on lifecycle costing and benchmarking reports right now. So that's one of the things to look out for.
Great.
When that comes up, I think we can leverage that and push it into the African market and let them use it. Okay. So shifting gears a little bit, looking at collaboration partnerships that you've had so far. I know there are some partnerships between the Ghana chapter and other FM associations in Africa. How do you see that going in the next 5 years? How do you see that partnership growing, and how can we take advantage of that to really grow the industry?
Job searching doesn't have to be time-consuming. With the right resources, you can save time and increase your exposure among leading employers eager to hire. IFMA's JobNet allows employers to search for potential candidates and view their resumes while protecting the job seeker's privacy. Your contact information will only be provided to those you allow, eliminating the chance of receiving unsolicited emails and phone calls. Find your future career on jobnet.ifma.org.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, I mean, it was really, difficult to, approaching these other professions in the built environment. Some of them saw it like, a competition, We saw it more like a collaboration and then, adding, value to each other's area. But I think the perceptive is changing. It's changing. Because we are engaging them more. For instance, the Institute of Architects, we had a meeting with them. I mean, we pushed all this, and they were surprised. Things that they need to know as architects. Okay, that will add value, to their profession as architects. So, going into the future, I see that it's going to help a lot. It's going to grow, and it's going to help, FMs in Ghana and also other professions, in a built environment. Yeah, it's something that we are doing. We are engaging a lot this time around. Yeah,
I think that collaboration with architects, the design, maintenance,
change. Yeah,
it is kind of a tension.
It is,
and not just in Africa. Pretty much everywhere.
Okay. All right.
Because there is this lack of synergy. Most of the time, when the project team gets to the table and they start planning and whatnot, they are thinking about just the design build elements.
Yes.
They don't really consider the maintain.
No.
Which incidentally, that's the longest part of the life cycle of the infrastructure. So it's good and it's very encouraging to hear that the Ghana chapter is collaborating with the Architects Institute to be able to ensure that you have that collaboration going. So that is good. Yeah. And what about government institutions as well in terms of influencing regulations and policies?
Yeah.
Have you done any work in that area with the chapter?
Yes. That's another area that the chapter is doing so well in. We have a committee that we have set up, to come out with a bill, because we visited the Parliament of Ghana and we visited the Minister of Works and Housing. And they gave us the opportunity to put a bill together and present to them for consideration. So it's something that we put a committee together that is working on. And when they are done, we'll present it and then take it from there and see where it will get to. Because we need policies to actually support, our services in our profession in Ghana very well. But the profession still looks very new. Yeah, very new. Yeah. To even government. To even government. And Ghana is a developing, country. And we are in an election year. All the promises is about building and infrastructure, hospitals and roads and what have you. These are all things that they do without thinking of the operational, stage of it. And so we believe that if this thing is able to go through very well, it's going to open a huge job opportunities for us, as facilities managers and people working in the space. Yeah.
Good, Sampson. So before we wrap up, what is next for the chapter? Next year, next 2 years, what are some of the priorities that the chapter has in front of them?
One of the key challenges we have is that we don't have, an IFMA certified trainer in Ghana. It's one of the challenges we have. I mean, in leadership, because some of the cost for running a professional certification is expensive when we are bringing, instructors from outside, from North America, from America, and stuff like that. So one of the key things we want to do is to have trainers within ourselves to help us bring down the cost of, running the professional exams. It's very key. And then the next thing is we've been able to help some universities to run the profession as a course. We want to push more so that we cover almost all the universities in Ghana to run the profession. That is a good way of, advancing the visibility of facilities management in Ghana, we think.
Good. So I think that will be good to at least with the qualified instructor, it's good to have that localized knowledge, as well. So aside the cost components, that localized knowledge that to share within the members, that would be really relevant for them. Thank you very much, and congratulations again on your award. And
thank you,
looking
Christa.
forward to
we actually dedicate that award to you, to you and John Vinkin, wherever he is. We say thank you to you guys.
So thank you, Johnny Vinkin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sampson. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Connected FM podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate and review the show because it really helps us reach more listeners just like you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. See you next time.